So I want you to go out there. I don't know if you guys hear, but there's a whole lot of flies. So I don't know what in the final destination is gonna be happening, but bear with me. It is what it is. I normally do visual arts, just static images, sort of content creation, but today we're doing video form. We're trying something new. This topic has been on my mind for quite a while now, and I kind of just feel the need to say it. And I do feel like sometimes words need to be said just as much as feelings need to be felt. So here we go. I also think it's really important to always allow yourself the space to grow and learn, but also recognize how far you've come. I am really proud of who I am and who I'm becoming. I can genuinely say that I am the person I needed when I was younger. I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I do be making mistakes. But you know what we do when we make mistakes? We hold ourselves accountable. Because there have been times where I'm like, oh, girl, I don't think that was the best decision to make. I am a believer that, well, at least for me, I feel like regret is the worst fear. So, if I do it, I make a mistake. As long as I learn something from it and do my best to not repeat this mistake, it's not something to regret. Right now, I'd say I've been calling it the in-between. Maybe we all live in the in-between for all our lives. But at least right now, I am really reconsidering and trying to kind of sift through the things in my life that I no longer want, trying to figure out and clarify what really matters to me and where I want to go with my life. Because I would say that when I was younger, definitely I always had, and to this day I still have like plans, like I still plan ahead, but you know, life doesn't always let it go as planned. And not only that, it's just the natural part of life where you get older and you change. When you change, so do your priorities and the things you want in life. You have a different perspective, which would allow you to, and you have the autonomy to change. Like, there's nothing wrong with changing who you are, what you like, what you don't like. That's all a part of life. For example, when I was younger, I very much was like, oh, like LA, creative opportunities. I want to go there. And that was the plan. After I graduated from university, I was supposed to go to LA. But as I get older, I do realize maybe I'm kind of like, do I want to go or do I want to stay? And you know, because I like my little town. I like my little town. It's very cutesy. It's very mindful. It's very demure. I also think of just having the experience of living in a big city to even figure out if I want or if I like it, because how will I ever know if I don't try? I also consider, you know, I do want to kind of start building a foundation or planting some roots, you know? And I feel like, especially in your 20s or your young adulting life, it's so important to explore, kind of try new things and discover what you want to identify with. In high school, I remember reading this book called Candide by Voltaire. And mind you, I don't really remember what it was about. But there was a quote in there that stuck with me. It said, "We must cultivate our garden." I took that quote and I ran with it. Because in my interpretation, it means who you are, your mind, your body, your spirit, your energy. Picture it as a garden. It's basically protecting your peace. Your garden is your peace, your safe space. Be very cautious of who you allow into your space because they can be planting weeds and we don't want no weeds. I feel like it's so important for at our age to cultivate our garden as much as possible, to travel, to meet new people, to explore new places, new experiences, like data collection, you know? And I think it's very confusing, and also sometimes I feel torn in between two things, because not necessarily in comparison, but in the way that there is so many paths. Sometimes I don't know which one I want to do, or which one I want to take, which one I want to explore, because it's like, oh, like, what if I want to be a writer? What if I want to be I don't freaking know. Like, what if I want to go train eagles in the desert? What if I want to be a bird trainer? What if I want to be a marine biologist? But what if I want to be an artist in New York? I have things I want to achieve. And there's a direction I know I want to go. But I don't necessarily know how it's going to go. But I'm also excited about the mystery of how I'm going to get there. Because I know it's going to be a lot of work, but it's also going to be fun. And I'm going to learn a lot, which is really important. And I feel it's really nice to have come and be in a place where I'm slowly able to know what kind of balance I need in my life. And balance is so important because it is. Like, finding balance is, no one can really tell you how to find balance, I feel like. Because everyone requires a different formula for their life. They're a different person. They require different things to be balanced in their life. So, I guess the best way to find where your equilibrium is by through trial and error. And mind you, some days, every day is going to be different. Some days you're going to need a little bit more patience. Like, for example, something that I've been trying to balance is taking initiative, but also letting go of control. I'm very much someone who is like, okay, I want this, I'm gonna get this. And sometimes I really had to be reminding myself, girl, you need to chill the fuck out. Like, sometimes you don't always get what you want. And then you find a balance where you're like, you know what? Life happens for me, not at me. If it was meant for me, it will be mine. it will find it. What I'm looking for is also looking for me. I feel like the universe, I don't know what you believe in, but I believe in the universe, God, gods, ancestors, spirits, you know. But I just say universe because I feel like it's encapsulates everything. I feel like the universe really does have your back. And I believe that. I really do believe that. That life happens for you and not at you. You have this sort of I guess you can call it like faith in the universe. You don't worry as much. And when I say this, I hope you listen closely. That you are so capable. You are far more capable than you think and you feel. But you are so capable of making a beautiful life for yourself. You better believe it. And I'll keep telling you until you believe it. There's a quote, because I'm chronically on Pinterest, that says, you can have more because you can become more than what you already are. There's a writer / poet. Her name is Brianna Weist. And she said in an interview that there are things out there so good you wouldn't even know how to ask for them. I was like, hold on a minute. Let me write this down. Like this, it lives in my mind rent free. It gave me hope. It gave me hope. I was like, you know what? On my darkest days, I was like, life is worth living. Because there are things out there so good, I wouldn't even know how to ask for them. And they're on their way to me. I gotta meet those things there. I know that everything will be okay. Sometimes I just be thinking, and you're allowed to do that. It's hard sometimes to not consider, like my parents. But I also think it's very important to live for yourself as well. Our parents did not move a whole different country where they don't speak the language for the opportunities. And mind you, they probably gave up some of their dreams. So how could you and me not be the baddest bitch? It literally is a disrespect to our parents when we're not a bad bitch. So I want you to go out there and be the baddest bitch you can be. That's all, period.